The ending of Fallout Season 2 Episode 2 shocked everyone. Just when you thought the story was moving in one direction, a single moment flips everything upside down. Characters you trusted make choices that leave more questions than answers. And secrets that seemed hidden are suddenly staring you in the face. But what does it all mean today? We're breaking down the jaw-dropping ending, piece by piece, revealing the hidden details, clues, and implications that you may have missed. By the end of this explanation, everything about that ending will start to make sense, and you'll see how it sets up the rest of Season 2 in ways you never expected. Before we dive into the ending itself, it's important to understand the story that led up to it. Episode 2 of Fallout Season 2 starts by deepening the tension between the main factions, showing us the cracks in alliances that seemed stable in the first episode. The episode begins with character name facing a difficult decision that directly affects their team's survival. Throughout the episode, we see smaller interactions that hint at larger conflicts, like subtle glances, quiet conversations, and choices that appear insignificant at first but carry heavy weight later. For example, the way character name hesitates before acting in a critical scene foreshadows the betrayal that comes at the end. These small details are the seeds planted for the shocking finale, and noticing them changes how we understand the ending when it finally arrives. The episode doesn't just focus on tension between people, it also builds atmosphere and environment. We see the world around the characters deteriorating, with each location reflecting the inner conflict of the characters. Dilapidated buildings, flickering lights, and abandoned areas aren't just for setting, they tell a story of decay, desperation, and looming danger. By paying attention to these environmental cues, the ending scene makes more sense. For example, when the final confrontation happens in a ruined facility, it isn't random. The state of the location mirrors the moral collapse of key characters and the destruction their choices have caused. In other words, the environment becomes a character itself, quietly preparing viewers for the events that unfold at the climax. A major focus in this episode is also the way relationships between characters evolve. We see trust beginning to fray, alliances forming and breaking in subtle ways. Character name appears loyal on the surface but acts in ways that suggest doubt, creating tension with their companions. This tension builds slowly, almost invisibly, through small gestures, hesitant dialogue, and body language. By the time the ending arrives, these seemingly minor interactions have layered meaning. Every hesitation, every glance, and every choice compounds, making the shock of the ending both surprising and inevitable at the same time. The episode also uses foreshadowing through seemingly unrelated side events, certain items, messages, or encounters that might appear trivial in the moment actually have a purpose. For instance, the discovery of specific object or clue early in the episode is not just for world building, it signals a turning point in the story. Later, during the ending, when this clue becomes relevant, viewers can look back and see how carefully the writers structured these moments. This storytelling technique rewards careful watching and makes the ending more satisfying, because it's built on threads already woven throughout the episode. The payoff isn't just in the final scene, it's in seeing how everything comes together logically, even if it feels shocking in the moment. Finally, the pacing of the episode sets the stage for the ending. Fallout Season 2 Episode 2 carefully alternates between moments of calm and intense action, giving viewers time to absorb the characters' decisions and the stakes of their situation. By the time we reach the ending, the tension has built naturally. Each scene adds weight, each decision raises stakes, and the final moments feel like the natural climax of all the story threads introduced. The writers deliberately structure the episode so that even a casual viewer senses that something monumental is about to happen. It's this careful build-up, combining character development, environmental storytelling, foreshadowing, and pacing, that makes the ending feel powerful, meaningful, and deeply shocking all at once. The ending scene of Episode 2 is a masterclass in tension and subtle storytelling, where every choice, glance, and shadow carries meaning. It begins with character name arriving at a location that has been built up throughout the episode as a place of both danger and revelation. At first glance, it appears quiet, almost deceptively calm, but the careful placement of objects and the fractured lighting immediately signal that something is off. The way the camera lingers on broken walls, scattered equipment, and remnants of past conflicts mirrors the emotional and moral breakdown of the characters, subtly preparing viewers for the confrontation that is about to unfold. The tension builds, not through dialogue alone, but through the atmosphere of faint echoes of distant movement, the slow approach of characters into frame, and the subtle musical cues that increase in intensity without overwhelming the scene. This careful layering of sound, space, and visual detail ensures that the audience feels the suspense at a visceral level, even before any overt action begins. As the scene progresses, the focus shifts to character interactions, which are deceptively simple but loaded with hidden meaning. Every pause, every hesitation, every sit-alone glance communicates unspoken conflict and impending betrayal. Character name, for example, moves with calculated precision, yet there is a flicker of doubt in their expression that hints at internal struggle. This is mirrored by another character, whose outward confidence masks fear and uncertainty, creating a palpable tension that makes every action unpredictable. The dialogue itself is sparse but carefully written. Lines that seem mundane on the surface actually contain foreshadowing and layered subtext. Phrases are repeated, slight changes in tone or emphasis signal shifting loyalties, and moments of silence become as meaningful as words, forcing the audience to pay attention to micro-expressions and subtle cues that hint at the true stakes of the scene. The interplay between spoken words and silence, between action and reaction, is where much of the ending's impact is found. And it is crafted to ensure viewers feel both surprise and inevitability simultaneously. The climax of the ending scene revolves around a pivotal decision that changes the trajectory of the story. The tension reaches its peak as character name faces a choice that is morally ambiguous, with no clear right or wrong answer. The way the scene is structured, with cuts alternating between the characters' perspective and reactions of those around them, amplifies the emotional weight. It forces the audience to experience the conflict from multiple angles, creating empathy and understanding for all involved. The use of visual metaphors such as fractured mirrors, shifting shadows, or collapsing structures reinforces the internal chaos of the characters, linking the physical environment with emotional stakes. When the decision is finally made, it is both shocking and logical, the result of a chain of subtle hints and foreshadowing scattered throughout the episode. The shock comes not from randomness, but from the careful orchestration of story beats, character development, and visual storytelling. Even after the decisive moment, the scene lingers on the consequences, showing reactions, shifts in relationships, and the immediate impact of the choice on the environment. The fallout of this decision is visible not only in dialogue and action, but in small, quiet details: a dropped weapon, a fractured expression, a lingering glance at a place once considered safe. These details give the ending emotional depth and realism, showing that the story is not just about events but about how those events affect the people living through them. Additionally, the scene ends on an intentional note of ambiguity, leaving certain questions unanswered and teasing future conflict. This deliberate choice keeps the audience engaged, sparking discussion and theory crafting. By combining layered character work, precise visual cues, environmental storytelling, and deliberate pacing, the ending of episode 2 delivers a powerful punch that is as emotionally resonant as it is narratively significant, creating a moment that lingers in the mind long after the episode concludes, inviting viewers to rewatch and uncover every hidden detail they might have missed the first time, even after the shocking conclusion of episode 2. The ending scene is packed with subtle clues and hidden details that hint at future events, waiting for viewers to notice them on closer inspection. One of the most striking elements is the use of seemingly ordinary objects that carry hidden significance. For example, a small item lying in the background, a broken watch, a crumpled note, or a discarded tool might appear inconsequential at first glance. Yet its presence foreshadows the trajectory of a character or the consequences of a key decision. These objects are not randomly placed. They are carefully integrated into the scene to reward attentive viewers. Another layer of foreshadowing comes through dialogue. Certain lines, which may initially seem like casual remarks or throwaway statements, are actually loaded with double meanings or subtle references to events that will unfold later in Season 2. A character might mention a location, an unseen enemy, or a vague threat that, in hindsight, perfectly aligns with later plot developments, demonstrating the writer's meticulous planning. The visual composition of the ending scene itself is another treasure trove of hidden details. Lighting, for instance, plays a critical role in signaling narrative undercurrents. Shadows fall in ways that isolate certain characters, emphasizing their internal struggle or hinting at secret alliances. Reflections in mirrors or water surfaces can subtly reveal who is being watched or who is about to betray another, without any overt explanation. Even camera angles serve a dual purpose. A wide shot may reveal an important object or character hidden in the background, while a close-up emphasizes expressions and reactions that hint at underlying intentions. The choice of color palettes also conveys subtext. Muted or cold tones often accompany moments of moral ambiguity, while warmer tones appear during fleeting moments of trust or camaraderie, subtly guiding viewers' emotional responses to foreshadow. Coming conflicts. Easter eggs in this episode are scattered in a way that rewards fans familiar with the broader Fallout universe. Small symbols, brief references to previous locations, or nods to earlier episodes act as narrative breadcrumbs that connect the current events with the larger story arc. For instance, a poster on a wall, a recurring motif in a character's belongings, or a seemingly incidental mention of a prior incident can carry enormous significance when considered in the context of the ending. These Easter eggs are not just for fan service, they actively enhance the depth of the story, showing that even minor details have meaning and contribute to the overall narrative. By noticing these elements, viewers gain insight into characters' motivations and can predict potential future twists, making the series feel interconnected and thoughtfully designed. Another fascinating layer of foreshadowing is conveyed through character positioning and movement. The way characters enter or exit the frame, who is standing near whom, and the subtle interactions between them all serve as narrative signals. For example, a character who steps back during a tense moment or hesitates before interacting with another may be hinting at hidden allegiances or future betrayal. Small gestures touching an object, shifting weight from one foot to another, or even subtle facial twitches can carry enormous narrative weight. Especially when paired with dialogue or environmental cues, music and sound design also play a role in signaling hidden meaning. Background tones might subtly rise during moments of tension, or faint echoes of previous events could be layered under the main soundtrack, creating a subconscious connection to past episodes and reinforcing the sense that the story is moving towards something larger. Finally, the scene's overall structure is designed to create multiple layers of understanding. On a surface level, the ending delivers immediate shock and emotional impact, but on a deeper level, it is a carefully woven tapestry of hints, symbols, and foreshadowing that rewards repeated viewing. Every glance, pause, object, and shadow is a deliberate choice meant to guide the audience toward understanding the hidden threads of the story. Observant viewers can start to piece together possible character trajectories, future conflicts, and the broader implications for Season 2. The brilliance of this approach is that it makes the ending simultaneously satisfying and mysterious. It delivers a powerful narrative punch while planting seeds for the episodes to come, ensuring that the story feels alive, interconnected, and rich with possibilities for those willing to look closely. The ending is not just a moment of shock, it is a carefully crafted nexus of foreshadowing and hidden meaning that sets the stage for everything that follows. The ending of episode 2 does more than just shock viewers. It opens up a world of possibilities, laying the foundation for numerous theories and shaping the trajectory of season 2 in profound ways. One of the most compelling implications revolves around the shifting alliances between characters. The decisions made in the final moments suggest that loyalties are far from fixed, and viewers are left questioning who can truly be trusted. This uncertainty gives rise to theories about hidden agendas, secret partnerships, and potential betrayals that may not yet have been revealed. For instance, a character who seemed supportive throughout the episode might be maneuvering behind the scenes, using the chaos of the ending to advance their own goals. Conversely, a character who acted selfishly in the finale could actually be laying the groundwork for a redemptive arc, hinting that appearances can be deceiving. These possibilities encourage viewers to rewatch earlier scenes, analyzing dialogue and behavior with a new perspective, which deepens engagement and creates a sense of active participation in the storytelling. Beyond character dynamics, the ending also hints at larger narrative shifts and thematic developments. The collapse of certain structures, both literal and metaphorical, signals that the world of Fallout Season 2 is moving toward more uncertainty and moral ambiguity. The episode suggests that the choices characters make will carry consequences that ripple far beyond this single story, potentially reshaping the social and political landscape of the game's universe. Theories about how this will unfold vary widely. Some speculate that the final act hints at a major confrontation between factions, while others interpret subtle clues as foreshadowing a deeper exploration of individual morality and the personal cost of survival. The presence of environmental storytelling, abandoned locations, damaged equipment, and hidden messages supports these theories, as each element provides a piece of the puzzle that points toward the complex future challenges the characters will face. The ending also introduces potential long-term mysteries, particularly regarding unexplained events and unresolved questions. Certain plot threads are deliberately left ambiguous, such as why a character acted in a specific way or the true significance of a seemingly minor object. These gaps invite speculation about upcoming episodes and create space for fan theories to flourish. One popular theory revolves around a hidden antagonist who may be orchestrating events from behind the scenes, influencing decisions and manipulating outcomes without revealing themselves. Another theory suggests that the finale foreshadows a deeper exploration of the game's lore, tying past events to present actions in a way that could redefine the stakes for the entire season. The careful placement of clues and subtle hints ensures that these theories are grounded in the narrative, encouraging viewers to look for patterns, inconsistencies, and hidden connections that point toward future revelations. Finally, the ending's implications extend to the emotional and psychological development of the characters. The choices made in these final moments create tension and uncertainty that will likely drive character arcs throughout Season 2. For example, characters who are forced to confront moral dilemmas may undergo transformations, becoming either more hardened or more empathetic depending on the outcomes of their actions. The finale also emphasizes the consequences of past behavior, showing that decisions made under pressure have lasting impact by leaving certain aspects unresolved. The ending ensures that the narrative remains dynamic and unpredictable, keeping viewers invested in the journey. It also encourages deep engagement with the story, as fans analyze every action, dialogue exchange, and visual cue to predict how these consequences will unfold. In this way, Episode 2's ending is not just a climax, but a launchpad, planting seeds for intricate storylines, complex character development, and thematic exploration that will reverberate throughout the rest of Season 2, making every subsequent episode feel connected, meaningful, and full of suspense.